Well, kia ora and welcome to Mind Your Buzzness. I'm Andy G, and this is really the final part of wintering down and just getting the one hive I've got left ready for those colder months. We've been pretty lucky because now we're into May. We have just had the most stunning weather. This is the summer we missed out on because we had a crap summer here in New Zealand. The weather has been insane. It's been up close to the 20s and we've had cloudless days. It's been brilliant, but it is definitely starting to get that sort of autumn feel in the air now. So what I'm going to do in this episode is feed the bees. It's the first time I've ever done it. And also, if you saw a previous episode, if you recall from that, I have blocks of polystyrene, which I'm actually going to put around the hive just to give it a little bit of extra insulation. So we'll see how it goes. I may do a check, not sure yet, but it has been about probably 11 or 12 days, probably more actually, since I was here last. So is it worth a check? I don't know, but I've turned up today and they're still as busy as ever. So let's crack in. I'm running out of light. I've been pretty lucky really, because just by the hives I've got this hay bale, which is just perfect for a table. Now what I've got in here is water, which is, it's rather tepid, all right, so sort of warmish water, and I'm going to make a sugar syrup. And what you tend to need to do with this is 1 part water to 1 part sugar. So because I've got 3 kilos of sugar, I've got 3 litres of water, because a litre of water is about 1 kilo. So having the water slightly warm and / tepid just helps it dissolve that a little bit better. So in it goes. Cane sugar is your best option too. It's like a cooking show, isn't it? And then I've got my brewing spoon here, so I haven't got any beer brewing at the moment, so I'm just going to use it for this. But and just give it a good mix around. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is just let that cool down a bit, and we'll crack into getting these polystyrene blocks around the hive. So here's the polystyrene blocks, and I think I'm probably going to get away with just letting them overhang at the back. I don't think that's going to be a major. We'll see how many I need to stack. Probably 3 would be enough, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that kind of gives a good height, especially once the feeder's on. That's going to bring the roof kind of level with the top of that, so that'd be great. And then I'm going to pull the shade sail across afterwards. Just have a quick look at the measurement between the back parts here, so I'll know how wide I have to cut some of these polystyrene blocks to fit the gap. It looks like about 600. It just is just over 600. So I believe it was the legendary Bear Grylls that said, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And I may have to do that because I've just been caught a little bit short with these polystyrene blocks. So I'm just going to have to find a way to do a little workaround, and I think I've got it. So what I'm going to do is just try a little bit of string to help support this together, and then I've also got some weed mat staples as well, which I'll drive into the joins just to hold these polystyrene blocks together. See how we go. The idea's in my head. I'm going to chop a piece off one of the overhangs on one of these side pieces here. That gives me 400 mil. So we'll just cut that off quickly. So yeah, it doesn't overly matter that there's a little gap here and here, because as I said, you know, the hive sort of starts there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. But don't drink your own piss, that's just nasty. So yeah, there's still a good amount of space for a bit of airflow, because these are just a tad damp, but they'll be okay. The bees haven't started getting inquisitive yet, so with any luck, we should be okay. It's not pretty, but it's doing a job. This is kind of what I had in mind, and it's all going well so far. So what I will do is just tie it off with a bit of string. I managed to break my sunglasses, which is annoying. It's all right. They belong to the bees now. One here. Oh, it's going so much better than I pictured. Just push this staple in. Just really, come on. Yes. So let's just do a quick whip around. Like I say, it doesn't look pretty, but it's functional and it's going to try and keep some heat in. Still keeps a little bit of airflow around the outside. Keeps the bees happy and still gives me an opportunity to access this hive if I need to, which I will have to do shortly because I'm going to put the feeder on top. Let's do that. I have made a decision to raw dog this. I'm going in without a suit. This will just be a quick in and out. Right, famous last words, that this hive is super chill, so I don't think this is going to pose a problem. Oh, that's well sealed. Okay, here we go. Quickly on with that. Look at that syrupy goodness. So 3 litres of water, 3 kilograms of sugar, perfect. So that'll just give them that extra little bit of sustenance. Let's have a wee look at this. So they're trying to regulate the temperature in there at the moment, trying to keep the airflow going. So they're standing at the entrance, fanning their wings, and I can feel it on my hand holding the phone. So that's how they can help regulate their temperature. So all in all, I think this is actually coming out really well. So the polystyrene is kind of level with the roof, which means now I can pull that shade sail over. That'll keep any frost off them. And there's a nice little bit of airflow sort of all around the outside. And so hopefully it doesn't cause any condensation. As you can see here, there's still lots of pollen coming in. Oh, come on, focus on her. She's a beautiful girl, that one. Look at her. There you go. Come on, phone, focus on the right thing here. I'm using my nose to try and focus. So she's got a good bit of pollen on it. Oh, there she goes. I'm so happy, so happy with the way this hive's going. So yeah, a couple of things left to do. I think for me personally, getting an entrance reducer on there so they can keep more of that heat in is key. So we'll put an entrance reducer over this hive and we'll put some thumbtacks in just to hold it on. We'll use some yellow and orange ones. So yellow for the honey, orange for the pollen, and then hopefully that'll just give them a little bit less space to have to keep warm, and also gives them a bit more of a chance to protect their hive too from any potential predators, or predators, what am I saying? I mean robbers, so other bees that want to come along and steal their stuff. initially they're not going to love me for this change. It's going to be a little bit of something to get used to for them, because now they've got this massive great wall around their hive. They're about to have the shade sail pulled over, and now they've got the entrance reducer as well, which I think is quite important. I'm happy with this. This is exactly how I sort of envisioned it in my head, and this is exactly how it's come out. So I'm very happy, and they're not that worried about me being here either. So this is what I like, a nice calm hive. And you look at one of my first videos in this entire Mind Your Buzzness series, well, actually series 1, where I wouldn't even come this close without wearing my suit. And it's funny, as a beekeeper, you tend to start to get used to your bees and how they act around you and what their temperaments are. And I think I've got a very, very happy, chilled out hive, which is great. So let's get that shade sail on. It's getting a bit cooler now. We're expecting a few frosts this week. And the whole point of the shade sail is to keep that frost off. And then the insulation will do its work and allow the airflow around it. So fingers crossed I can get them past June. June is where I lost my hive last year. So it's going to be a bit confusing for them for a little while. They're already having a wee look at it. But isn't that looking good? So happy. So the bees are sorted. Their crib has been pimped. Consider that wintered down, protected from the elements, and it gives them a thriving chance at keeping that warmth in as well, with a little bit of airflow still available. And we'll get them past June this year. I know it. Get them nice and strong into spring. All I need to do now is just keep checking that feeder tray, topping it up with that sugar syrup, and we'll have some happy bees and, well, a happy Andy as well. So thanks for watching Mind Your Buzzness. I've been Andy G. We'll see you on the next episode, whenever that might be.